Hello there, kids, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and today we are diving back into another Yu-Gi-Oh! Product opening video. This time we are diving into the 2025 Mega Pack bundles because I do genuinely enjoy cracking open Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. Just like last time, this video comes to you courtesy of the House of Cards. Care Bear, this goes out to you. Let's crack this bad boy open and see if our luck with this product can be any better than the limited pack from just a few days ago, it feels like. Before I even get started, I want to say that I'm actually quite surprised with how this year's mega packs are distributed. There's two different ways. There's the traditional tins. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, there's 12 of them in here, or at least it looks like there's 12. They came in either tins, like in usual years, or in these weird bundles. That's what they're calling it, I guess. So we got Yugi, Joey. Okay, there's a Kaiba. I was starting to get worried. Oh, there's so many. So yeah, 12 of these bad boys to open. Kaiba. Yugi. Let's get you out of here. So we've got 3. Oh, is it 4 of each? Excellent. Okay, that makes this a bit easier. So 4 Kaibas, 4 Joeys, 4 Yugis. And then what? 3 cards, 3 packs. Hang on. Let me actually read what this thing says. 3 packs per box, 13 cards per pack, 39 cards total. I gotta say, yeah, so in previous years, the mega packs were released in tins, these big metallic tins that took up a lot of space. This year, Konami is switching things up and giving us just these cardboard deck box size bundles to dish things out in, and I think that's great because it really does reduce the amount of waste I have to deal with at the end of the day. Pack number 1, baby. I actually have no idea what I'm hunting for here, but there's an infinite impermanence right off the bat. I don't play Modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but I remember that this was a big deal quite a while ago. So let's put our big shiny cards off here to the side so we have an idea of what we've got. Melodious Concerto, Knight Armed Dragon, the Armored Knight Dragon. That's a wonderful name. The King of D, Mecha Phantom Beast, Dracosack. So you boys are going to go on a pile. And the super shiny ones are going to go, what is this? This is Starlight Rare, right? I don't know how to tell. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it is Starlight Rare. And that I'm not mislabeling them. So we've got Surfacing Big Jaws, Ragnarok of the Evil Seed, Tri-Edge Masters, Sangen Jin Wakes from a Millennium. Sorry, I got my brain kerfuffled there because Tri-Edge Master makes me think of Dot Hack. Lovely game series. If you ever have the chance to, give the Dot Hack GU games a try. They really are a lot of fun. Very grindy, but a lot of fun. So in this pack, I have no idea how to excitedly open up a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! I gotta get better at that. Rescue Ace Hydrant, Samsara D Lotus, like a One Piece character. Memento Clan Akihiron. And Tenpai Dragon Paidra. Alright. Next of the 12, there's a lot of these. I'm gonna be here a while, aren't I? Let's just go ahead and rip you open. Yeah, there's 12 of these total. This might take a while. Let's try to... I should have just opened these up in advance and set the packs aside, shouldn't I? Might have taken might have made the video, at least, to take less time, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. We learn our lessons as we go. Or, you know, if you're me, you just never learn your lessons and you repeat the same mistakes over and over again until someone finally beats the lesson into you. Man. I gotta say, though, just the 3 packs in the box, they just kind of rattle around like that. That can't be good for the cards inside. Oh, well, what do I know? I'm just an uncle on YouTube. Let's get that out of there. I like the playing card aesthetic of the boxes, though. I will say that. I wonder how many people are going to want to hold on to this as a product down the road. Like, for what it is, as opposed to the usual traditional annual tins. Because, I don't know, this convenient deck-sized product can sit on a shelf nice and easy. The bundle that holds these things is non-intrusive, doesn't take up as much space as a traditional annual tin case does, and that I think is kind of nice. All right, that's all the packs. Now we can actually get started, now that I have all the packs set aside, and I don't have to take a pause every so often to rip them bad boys open. So in this pack we got Ashen City, Mermail King, Moko, Psychic Processor, Awakening of Vados, and I've just blasted the pack open. My sausage fingers. We have Red Eyes Black, Full Metal Dragon. It's a shiny boy right there. Chunk Synchron, Snake Eyes, Dia Star is the secret. That's fun. Can you guys tell that I don't really do a whole lot of pack opening videos on YouTube just by the way I handle it? Because I don't. It's just not the thing I usually do. Ooh, Light and Darkness Dragon Lord, a fusion updated version of Light and Darkness Dragon. I don't know anything about this guy, but Light and Darkness Dragon itself was a pretty big deal for a while. Pile Armed Dragon, Blessing of the Voiceless Voice, and Ryziel Detonator, which I know nothing about. And that's the thing is, I think part of why I enjoy cracking open Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs and Yu-Gi-Oh! Products is because I have absolutely no attachment to the game as it is right now. I can just enjoy the cards for their fun art, the little references you see in the art, like this is a Dark Souls character, right? We all accept that, right? Ashen City, that's a reference to Dark Souls 3. We all get that. I can just enjoy the cards for what they are. Red Rose Dragon being our Starlight Rare, I think. And just enjoy that pack opening experience rather than worrying about if what I pulled was actually good for the game itself. So I think that's kind of relieving. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to just be able to crack open products without worrying about whether or not what you have is any good. Valuable, I do hope it's valuable, but, you know, BLs of the Diabolic Dragons. Okay. Ibisherheen, Stronghold of the Hidden Fortress, and Nightmare Throne. Okay. I don't know anything about any of those. I think I recognize this from the 5Ds manga, actually, now that I think about it, but I don't remember clearly. The name kind of rings a bell. Ashen City, Talons, Kochabo, Sinful Spoils, Millennium On. That kind of looks like a Monster Reborn, but it is not. It's something Exodia. Atlantis, Access Code Talker, Malice C, GWC06. Yeah, that's a card name. Okay. And some commons. Sure, let's just give random letters and numbers as the card name. Nobody will notice. Nile Deity, Isa. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Ruby Sapphirus. I remember those Pokemon games. Sunset Beat, Embers of the Ashen, number 2. And Dual Link Dragon. Isn't that a video game? I think it is. The King of D. Silent Swordsman 0. We're going to pull that aside. I remember the Silent Swordsman and Silent Magicians from back in the day. So I might just decide to keep that. Fun stuff. White Dragon Ninja. Ragnaraka Stag. Silhouette Hat Trick. Another King of the Ashen City. Turn Silence. Ancient Gear Dark. Golem is not a dark card. Okay. I want to hear Spirit of Neos. Sanct and Engraver. Neat. As I spin you all the way around. This is a mega pack, so the actual set list is freaking huge. I imagine we're not going to get to see even like half of the cards in the set in this video. Metal Illusionist, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, that's a Blue Eyes card, obviously. Giant Mimigul, Goblin Biker, Doug Charger. I don't know. I've always been kind of curious. The fact that Konami does these year after year after year does show me that they are popular. I mean, it is how a lot of reprints hit the market, you know, for all those decks that need them. SP Little Knight. I think I heard about this card before, but yeah. Drake Shark, Primate Lordly Load. That's a weird name. Let's get that pile nice and going. But yeah, I'm actually kind of curious what you guys think. Do you think that these annual mega packs are worth it? Do you think that they are a good product to have, whether just to crack open for the fun of it or to hold long term? Like, do you guys think that these are actual bestial Magnum Hut? Call favorite, Fiendsmith Saint, Dungeon. Because I always get the sensation, the feeling that the annual tins aren't amazing in terms of products to sit on and hold on to and invest in and all that jazz, but I do think that they do better than the average box just because of the sheer variety of what's inside. And that is appealing to a lot of people. This card is Bestial Baldrake. That's a word and a half. Primate Roar, Woes of the White Forest, and another Dracosack. Hey, we got a repeat. Let's start a new pile there. Yeah, I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Product as it is right now is not doing that great. Not a lot of boxes appreciating well. In fact, most of them are just kind of floundering. Oh, hey, Yubel. Everybody knows Yubel. A lot of them are floundering. None of them are doing all that great. And I think that's a shame because there are some really cool cards in these packs. There's some nice collectible cards, I think. In a lot of the products that we see, it's just that Konami's overall approach to how they print the game really does a lot of damage, I think, in the short and long term. Ooh, True Light. That's shiny. That's like really bright. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but this card is like really reflective more than the other ones. Aerial Eater, Exile, Fires of Rage. I really just think that Konami, I do genuinely think that if they, you know, dialed it back a bit with the releases, made the chase a bit more interesting, a bit better for the average player and collector, and kind of dial back on things a bit. Oh, that's our first Starlight Rare duplicate, I think. Bestial Baldrake. What I'm trying to say is if they dialed it back a bit, they might have better luck with these sets. You know, stop reprinting everything into the ground. Make the sets just a bit more desirable to have from a collector's standpoint. And you'd be surprised how far that alone can take them. Blue Eyes, Tyrant Dragon. I mean, just look at this set. Part of the discussion, a lot of the discussion around the 2025 Mega Packs is these cards here. These, I think these are the Starlight Rares. Just because these are functionally the same as the Quarter Century Secret Rares that we just got not that long ago. And they are even reprinting them. So they, for some people, feel like they've been cheated out by Konami. Just in terms of, oh wow, back-to-back Tyrant Dragons. There we go. That's true. That's true cheating right there. But yeah, no, some people do feel cheated by Konami when it comes to the collectability of their cards. Just because the highest rarity can feel super diluted. And that's unfortunate that people feel that way. Because I do think that in terms of, like, just overall collectability for rarities, I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has some of the prettiest cards on the market. And the fact that people just don't think they're worth collecting is unfortunate, I think. Of the big three, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the second most beautiful cards on average, with Pokemon's illustration rares really pulling their own weight in the last few years. You know, it's undeniable that illustration rares are highly desirable. Retaliating Sea. There's a bunch of these little sea guys. Ooh, got some faded words right there. That little forest part's faded out. There's Stiller, centipedes. It is a shame to have an entire card game that for the longest time was seen as one of the pillars of the hobby just floundering. It really is unfortunate. But what can you do? Another True Light, Archfiend, Maiden, and Sleepy. What can you do? On a more positive note, I want to say that, the flip side of this whole Yu-Gi-Oh situation where boxes come out and they don't appreciate well and nobody really desires them, it makes it easy for people like me and other people out there who just want to buy boxes to open them and build decks or flesh out collections. It makes it easy for them. People can get most of an entire set for a lot of the new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff just by grabbing a few boxes on discount from TCG Player or elsewhere, because the desire is that low, genuinely. There is a chase. There are cards that are genuinely expensive in these sets, but the sets themselves are easy to put together, and I think that's a nice thing overall. Starlight Photon Blast Dragon. That's a word and a half. Cross, Magician of Chaos. Isn't that already a card name? Am I crazy? Am I having a stroke? Dark Magician of Chaos, Magician of Black Chaos. I think that's already a card. But I will have to double check that at some point, because that strikes me as odd. Benagua, Archfiend, Multi-Universe. Another Red Eyes Black Full Dragon. I really just like the way... The camera doesn't pick it up well, but the way the letters in the name reflect with the light as you move it up and down, it makes it look like they're jumping off the card. I don't know how to get it to show on the camera, but it looks really nice. If you had this in person and you were, moving it back and forth, it would look really nice. I think that's a really nice hit. This Never-Ending Nightmare Absorber. This is a card that I legitimately feel needs a higher rarity. This is some beautiful art for a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I think that art looks absolutely wonderful. A bit creepy, sure, but wonderful. And I think it's a shame that this card doesn't have like a secret rare or something, because that's really nice. I think this card would look beautiful as a secret rare. I don't know why it's just a common in every one of its printings so far, but I think that deserves a secret rare more than just about every other card on Konami's recent print list. Centurion Atri. Ooh, a Harpy's Feather Duster. There we go. That's something nice. Or at least it was nice a bazillion years ago. I remember when everyone needed a Harpy's Feather Duster and just nobody had one. So that's nice. A giant Mimigul, White Binder, Extinguish the Ashen. Yeah, I remember when Harpy's Feather Duster was like one of the best cards you could possibly have. Everybody wanted one. Very few people actually had one. Schoolyard Yu-Gi-Oh! Spell card Monster Reborn. That's pretty nice. Maiden, Primate Troll Beam. I wish, like, if there was a way for me to properly showcase how, like, backyard Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, when I was a kid and we were all just kind of swinging it with the rules, I would love to do a video on that someday. Just talk about, like, how we just kind of... Red Rose Dragon. We just kind of shimmied things together. We didn't really follow the rules. We didn't really understand the rules. But Harpy's Feather Duster, that brings to mind, like, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On the bench behind my friend's house when I was younger. Get home after school and knock cards all over the place. Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We would knock things all over, play a bit, throw a ball, play some Yu-Gi-Oh!, not understand any of the rules we were playing with. We just kind of did whatever we wanted with cards. That was fun. That was a fun time. I wish there was a way for me to properly articulate what I'm talking about. But I'm sure a lot of you out there have experienced something similar. Temple of the Kings, that's a nice card right there. I remember when this bad boy was printed and then immediately banned. See, there's a nostalgia card. I know about that bad boy. Tenpai Dragon Pyedra. Last handful of packs. I don't know if what we pulled today was actually all that good. I hope it was. I hope there was something in here that people went absolutely freaky deaky over. Another Bestial Baldrake. That's 3 of them. So that's probably not a hit card, huh? If I'm pulling 3 of them, then they can't be that good. I know my luck. Oh, man. What else comes in this? I actually don't know. Yellow Ninja, Terrors of the Afterroot, Deaders, Golem, Glorious Bright, Armor, another Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, so that's probably not that big a hit either, because I think that's the 3rd of those, too. So I probably don't have the greatest lineup of pulls, but you know what? At the end of the day, just enjoying it for what it is, that's good enough for me. I get to crack up in Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. You guys get to join me at the Temple of Kings. You know what? Screw it. I don't care if this is an A. I like this card. I get to crack packs. You guys get to join me. We're all having a good time. That alone, I think, makes the day worth it. Boral Code Dragon. Eternal Favorite. Sublimation Dragon. Lull the prayers of the voiceless voice. We're at the finish line, folks. We are at the finish line. Just a bit left to go. And all I got to say is, you know what? This is fun. I like the pack layout. I like the selection of cards that I've seen so far. Gaddock, Goblin, Biker, Big Gabonga. I don't really see any Big Gabongas, but hey, I'll take your word for it. What do I think of this set overall? I like the fact, I do genuinely like the fact that this isn't in big, cumbersome metal tins, and then I can just crack all the packs in one go with a lot less waste than I'm used to on the annual products. I'm not going to pitch the gripes about the Starlight Rare reprints. Everyone's already aware of those. Nightmare Apprentice as our final Starlight. That looks nice. Merciless, Abyssine Trina, Salamangreat of Fire, and some commons. Hang on a second. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, yeah, I did count right. Good. What do I think overall? I like it. I like the box layout with all the characters being shown on one side being, I think, rival characters. Oop, as I knock the camera. And protagonists. Although none of these guys are featured on the boxes. But overall, I think it's a good product. I don't know if any of these cards I pulled are actually all that great. They are definitely very shiny. They reflect light directly into my retinas. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I am suffering vision damage as a direct result of these cards. But yeah, that is the 2025 Mega Pack. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good jazz. I will see you guys next time. Ciao.